Want to hear an honest secret you ain't going to like? Your overdraft fees to your bank have way less to do with how much money you have in the bank than you actually think. You think it's about like, oh, I'm broke and I don't got money. That's why I got overdraft fees. Not the case. Problem is you don't manage your money. You have a broke mindset. If you want to have an abundance mindset, which actually makes this a non-issue, whole different thing. And I know, man, when I was younger, I had a lot of times where, man, I was always pissed trying to call the bank back. Can you take care of this overdraft fee? Whereas now I never have that issue because I never get to that point. And I go, man, the mindset behind the scenes was a really big piece of it. And we don't usually pay attention to this because, to be honest, you have everything that you need to make this change. Your mind is in place and you have everything else to do with why. Like your mindset, the way you function is everything to do with why you have in your bank now more withdrawals and deposits. The way you function, the way you think, and you may not want to hear this. To be honest, most people don't want to accept this, but it's a truth. And I've been in this space. I grew up in a family that was really poor, didn't have very much money, and so our assumption was like, oh, money's hard to come by. I had a broke mindset. When you have a broke mindset, you do broke things. You stay broke. You want to grow and do things. I'm not even talking about being rich. If you want to have more abundance in your life, you must fix the true problem of to why you stay broke in life. And what happens is when you focus on this, at first it sucks to hear it. At first it's a crappy realization, but then things change. Then something adjusts and all of a sudden you find yourself in a better place with a better mentality, and it's a journey towards the right direction. And I know I was actually even beyond being a kid. I was out of the NFL, and I went to a pretty broke mentality, man. I had a mindset that was not very powerful, not very strong. And what ended up happening is I found myself in a situation where in 2013, I had a busted ankle. I'd done something to tear my Achilles. I wasn't doing very good at my business. I wasn't able to pay rent and make bill payments. So I ended up having to go to my ex-wife at the time and ask her to borrow $5,000 so I could do three things. One, pay the rent at my business, which was horrible. Pay the rent at my condo, even more horrible, and buy my kids Christmas presents. Like I was in a funky place, let's be honest. It was a crappy little spot to be in as a human, and I was broke. But then if you fast forward after this mentality change and the shift, the next year I brought in $406,000. Now, it wasn't an accident. I did a lot of things differently than you would even imagine to make this thing work, but I'll tell you where it all started was the foundation of my mind. I had to shift from a broke to an abundant mindset, and it's how I changed my entire life because, let's be honest, man, money doesn't give you happiness, but it creates a lack of stress in certain areas, which allows you to improve in certain areas. So if you are working on yourself, it can make your life a little bit easier. Doesn't it immediately make you happy or longevity happy or joyous and peaceful inside? But it can alleviate stresses. It can help you. So if you want to find out how, pay attention to this video. The first thing you have to do is embrace an abundance mindset in all areas of your life, like an actual abundance mentality, which means you must look for opportunities to cultivate and develop an abundance of how you see something. It could be in your relationships. It could be in your personal growth. It could be in your bank account, in your actual career. But you have to start looking at things as if there isn't a lack. I think a lot of us start looking at things with this broke mentality, and we start thinking that there's a scarcity to it. If I don't maintain and hold on to this, I don't get anything. I once heard somebody say they call money currency because it's got to operate like a current. When you think about operating like a current, it means I got to put into the current for the current to flow back to me. That's why investments operate how investments operate. I have to put into the current for the current to flow back to me. Right? So what you got to think about is, where are you operating with a broke mentality, a broke mindset? And if you are, that's got to change massively for you to actually be able to do stuff. So you have to put out to the current so it flows back. That's abundance. That's thinking, you know what, I can give this out because I know there's more that'll come back to me. So it could be financial. It could be love to your spouse or your wife or your girlfriend or your boyfriend. It could be love to your children. It could be care and trust to your friends and colleagues and coworkers. But that abundance has to go out, because when you try to keep it all tight to the chest and the vest, well, eventually you're not going out and getting more. You're just trying to maintain what you have, and this depletes. No matter what it is you have, nothing lasts forever. It depletes. And now because of my strict broke mentality and the scarcity mentality, everything depletes, and then I have nothing more left. When if I'd had an abundance mentality to give out of energy and care and love, it all starts flowing back, and I have more than I can handle. That's why you've got to start cultivating an abundant mentality in every area of your life you can see: financial, relationship, health, family, fitness, whatever it is. These areas matter. Now, the next thing is you need to visualize what abundance looks like to you. This is a separate thing from when most people put out into the world and go, look at my car, look at my Ferrari, look at my Bentley, look at all my money, Gucci belts and craziness. And yeah, like it looks cool, but to be honest, I don't think it really makes you better. just means you got some money, and it's a weird thing that we try to feel good about ourselves by making other people desire us. That's what it is. You put these things on your body, and you want to feel good because of how somebody else wants your stuff, right? It's an interesting thing that we don't just tuck away and go quiet and go to the dark and be at peace with ourselves. We got to look the part and be the part. And I'm not going to say that I never have that. I'm guilty of some of these things. Let's be honest. But the idea is like, really, it doesn't drive how I see myself. I don't have this scarcity mentality of like, I got to get or you're going to take from me. It's not how it works. And I visualize what it looks like to me uniquely. And to me, abundance looks like joy in my household, happy children, a full belly for myself and my family, peace, safety, and security, being able to travel, have great friendships, be able to serve people because I can serve people. Like, that's when I visualize abundance. It's not, I got to go to private jet and I got to go across the country. Now, don't get me wrong. For some people it is, and I love that they want to get that because they don't get that without giving value to the world. So by all means, I'm just saying it ain't my thing. And that's my own peace, and I'm okay with that. I love that, actually, because I don't have to deal with all the craziness. I can go where I want to go, do what I want to do, be free, come home, hang in my house, watch TV. I get to love my life and my family and the people that are around my life. But visualize your own abundance, because now that you've seen it, your body starts moving towards it. Now, if you've got to the point of saying, I'm going to embrace an abundance mentality, I'm going to, on top of that, start visualizing abundance and what it looks like to me, well, the next piece, I got to start taking action towards it. Most people will have big dreams that never get moved towards. There's never any action in the direction of this. And so what they end up doing is sitting still, waiting for something to come to pass, because I visualize it. The whole book of The Secret, the concept of The Secret, it has validity to it. A genuine validity of what you have coming out of your brain. It's going to draw it into you, but you better be doing something. You better be making moves and taking action towards something. So you don't just sit in your hands and go, oh, it should work out, right? I have an abundance mentality. I believe there's a lot. Do you? Because if you did, you'd realize that abundance is putting out, it's giving energy, it's doing things, it's taking action in the world. That's how stuff flows back to you. You have to abundantly give out as an action to have it come back to you. So if you don't take action on things, then you actually don't have any motion. There's no momentum, nothing is moving. It's the proof of what you've done and what you create through your actions that gives you this abundance mentality. It's how you cultivate it. So you have to get out of this idea, which some people get stuck in, of, I'm going to sit here and take minimal actions, because the actions also must be the super uncomfortable ones you're not used to taking. The ones that feel awkward when you do it. They don't sit well with you sometimes because it's so hard to do and it's making you stretch beyond your comfort zone. That's the one you have to take. Because that comfort zone, that place you sit, that place, man, is never going to create anything amazing for you. I'm real big on the idea of identity and dark work, and that dark work is the uncomfortable space. It is going into the dark and doing the things that are inside of a space that is outside your comfort zone. It's your own tucked away silo, but you're doing things that are not normal to you, that are outside your comfort zone, that push you in a certain place. You have to start taking the action. Now, next, you've got to get to a point of having really a tribe. Like, you need to have a tribe of people that also think abundantly, so that when you find yourself not thinking abundantly, they can go, hey, stop operating in scarcity. We don't talk like that. That's not how I function. That's not how we talk. You know we're better than that, right? That tribe of human beings that also have an abundance mindset that push you is critical, because we can sometimes only see ourselves, and it's us in this jar of the life we live. And I love the statement of, it's hard to see the label when you're inside of the jar. And so I want you to start thinking about, where in my life, where do I have things going on where I need to start looking at having more of an abundance mentality, an abundance mindset. And that comes from other people who also have abundance mindsets. Those who also see things the way you might see them and function the same way you do. So dialing that in is huge, of the people you keep around you in your own little tribe. But the last part, I believe, is you got to give back. Like, you really have to give to other people abundantly, because when you give to other people abundantly, that's when you start getting that fill up. Like, there's always this weird thought I have of, like, if you want to feel great after you've been starving, let's say you get 10 hamburgers and you're starving. Well, the first hamburger feels good. Second one feels even better. You feel good. After like your third hamburger, you go, man, I still got these 7 hamburgers and I can't put another one in my body to make me feel good. What do? Well, I can give it to other people who are also hungry. I can abundantly give because I have much more. And these people will say, thank you so much. But maybe next time you're hungry, they may have hamburgers to give you. That's how it all flows and comes together. And so that whole idea of like giving abundantly is a big piece. And whenever you can do that and give out, you'll find that it fills you up in a whole different manner. And I will give you the last one, the way this all changed my life. It changed my life when I started realizing that I am just me. And oddly, we're not special, but we are. Meaning we're incredibly unique and special to the people that are unique and special to us in the tight vicinity. But to the world, man, there are millions of little worlds where you can climb to the top and be the guy, right? And we start looking at these worlds, and when you actually just think of your own world, you think you're the best and amazing, and then you interact with a different world and you feel like you're small, and it takes you down because you go, I gotta go get whatever's mine. And you're fighting against this opposition, which is you can never win and have every part of the world know you, respect you the same manner. So it's getting off the merry-go-round of my abundance, my ability to feel great about myself is based on how other people view me and how great I look to them. Man, that's a really fickle place to be. It's tough. So give back to people for the sole purpose of feeling good in your silo, and only worry about your silo and realize that the bigger picture, grander scale of the world, you're just another human being walking planet Earth. And that's great, because then it means you can be in peace and enjoy and live a life people enjoy, and also that you enjoy alongside of it. So that's it. Make sure to check out my other videos, one being right here. And as always, do the dark work so you can make shift happen.